Welcome back to our study in the two letters Paul wrote to Timothy. We are in the fourth chapter of the second letter, and we've kind of subtitled that chapter The Ordination of Timothy. And we've seen where Paul gives Timothy a charge and a commission to preach the gospel and to preach it fearlessly. And there's a reason why. It's that Paul is so intent on giving this commission to Timothy in writing. It's because he's obviously in house arrest and he can't get to him. So he is going to, as we'll see in a future lesson, encourage Timothy to come to him eventually. But as for now, he writes this charge and this commission out. And now he tells us pretty much what's going to happen. We'll pick up in verse 6. For I am already being poured out as a drink offering, and the time of my departure has come. Paul's referring to his death. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the course. I have kept the faith. In the future there is laid up for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day, and not only to me, but also to all who have loved his appearing. It's interesting because Paul is communicating to Timothy in a cultural way that he understands. Paul refers to his life as a course, as a good fight. And there's a reason why. Every Roman city in the Roman Empire always had a festival every year, much like rural communities do still to today. And in that festival, they would have what was called the race, or the fight, or the course, depending on how it was laid out. It was usually about a 2 to 3 day long obstacle course, and it was meant to kill the people who participated in it. It was meant to take their life. And so people would come from all over the area to participate in the course, in the race. And it would go 2 or 3 days long. It was treacherous, it was dangerous, it was laid out and guarded so that you had to go the course that had been procured for you to go. And it always ended in the amphitheater in the middle of town. And in the amphitheater, at one end of it would be the mayor or the ruling judge or governor. And you would walk in at the opposite end and walk over to him. And if you completed the course, you would be given a wreath around your head, which had an insignia on it, which told anyone who saw it that you could live free in that city and eat free in that city for the rest of your life. So to complete the great obstacle course, the treacherous course, was a great reward, and many people tried to do that in many different towns. Paul refers to his life as that course, and he has finished it. He apparently is well aware that he is going to be killed as he sits in prison. And so he tells Timothy this very clearly, and we'll see in our next lesson even kind of the emphasis of that even more so. But he is very quick to tell him that he has finished the course. He knows he did what he should. He's walked into the arena. And when his time comes, God will place the crown of righteousness on his head, which will allow him to obviously reside in heaven for eternity. There's the parallel. I'm sure Timothy got it. We don't often know that story, so when we know it, we can understand why he said what he said. And he said, I'm not the only one that's going to get the crown of righteousness. It's everyone who does this. Everyone who completes the course. Everyone who keeps the faith. Everyone who fights the fight. The good fight. And that's what it's about. We're on a treacherous course as Christians, but our reward is great. And Paul is very simply telling Timothy that so that he can understand where Paul, is at in life. We'll pick up there in our next session.